The Human Resources Professionals Association held its annual conference and trade show in Toronto last week. Over 3 days, a number of speakers gave HR professionals some fresh insight to take back to their workplaces, says HRPA CEO Bill Greenhalgh.
The takeaways they get are very practical. They're all based on evidence. They're tested and tried, so they can go back to work and they can put them in place right away. And I think the other thing is that it's a kind of rejuvenation. You know, it's a bit of time outside of work. They can sort of sit back and think a little bit. So they're not sort of putting out fires 24/7. They can sit back a bit. They can bounce ideas off their peers, professionals, the chance to network. It's just a tremendous way to really benefit them.
Meeting with Bill at the HRPA conference gave me the chance to talk to him about the organization's plans for 2014. He told me there are two primary items on the agenda: the Registered Human Resources Professionals Association Act and reviewing the HRPA's designations. The HRPA's new act is one of the most important things to happen to HR in Ontario in recent years, but the impact won't necessarily be immediately noticed, Bill says.
That causes some changes in the association in terms of the regulatory authority we have, some of the processes we have to put in place, changes in bylaws, impact in terms of the workplace, and we now will have 3 government appointees on our board, so all those things have to happen in the next 12 months or so.
The HRPA took some time in 2013 to review its designations. While the assessment has been completed, some work still needs to be done. They've identified the competencies required to professionally practice HR, but they must now determine where those competencies lie. Should something be included at the junior level, or is that competency one that should be at the executive level?
This is a long-term project. This will not happen this year. A lot of the foundational work will happen in 2014, but a lot of the activity will happen in subsequent years.
The HRPA will also be looking at whether additional designations should be added.
Certainly on the professional practice assessment, we think that there might be different designations. We're really not sure, because it really depends on how you take all the skill sets and competencies that HR people need and block them into chunks, basically. We'll know fairly quickly where the CHRP fits, but then the question is there room below that for another designation? Is the CHRP the entry level and there's a more senior one? The acronyms or designations that we put in, we have no plans for those, but we thought, well, maybe down the road there might be a need for these. Bear in mind that it's 25 years since our last act. This will last for another generation, so we need to kind of be thinking way ahead. So we put those in as designations, thinking that perhaps down the road we'll use them, but we may never use them at all.